All right, no time for that. So welcome back to the Chiss Ascendancy podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is a surprise episode. It's going to be I don't know how, if we might not live through this. We don't have a whole lot of time. It's super late at night. We've all got things to do in the morning. But for those of you who are watching or listening, might I even say that you're enjoying it? The Ahsoka season 2 trailer just dropped. As you can see, I've got my Grand Admiral Thrawn jacket and my Grand Admiral Thrawn hat on. I had to run outside in my underwear to get the hat from my car. Here we are. But we wanted to watch it with you first. So you guys know the rules. We're going to watch it all the way through first. And if we do like, oh, that's cool, or oh, what's that? We can comment while we're watching, obviously, but we're going to watch it all the way through. And then we'll stop. And then we'll go through, have some discussion. It's going to be short, sweet, to the point, but we're super excited. We want to share this with you guys. So without further ado, you are listening. Hopefully you're watching, but you're definitely enjoying this little snippet from the Chiss Ascendancy.
Tell me, Ahsoka. What troubles you? I'm always walking by your side.
Citizens of the glorious empire, I have returned. I took an oath to protect the empire. I therefore declare war on the Rebel Alliance.
Kill that rebel squad.
Out of vision.
What did you see?
More. More and more danger than I thought.
Balin claimed to have knowledge of a power.
Master!
One that could end wars.
A long time ago, I walked away from the Jedi.
This is your trial, Ahsoka. Maybe time to decide. Are you a Jedi? Or not?
Long have I awaited to see Hu Yang wielding a lightsaber, let alone General Grievous style with the Temple Guards style saber.
Wow.
Oh, there's so much. Okay.
Dude, there's a lot.
There's a lot. So we're going to jump back in and then we'll pause as we go and y'all just give me your thoughts. But I did want to let you guys know. So there were some photo ops and stuff earlier from D23 where Dave Filoni and Rosario Dawson, everybody was signing posters and stuff. And there was a small little thing at the bottom that gave the date. So we knew the date got leaked. So January 20th is when season 2
said 2027, but I don't know, for whatever reason I feel like it's still like March. So I was like, God, a whole year, but that's
I know, like, it's freaking August. So we got 4 months till Ahsoka season 2, and then so January 20th, mark your calendars. We'll open it back up and then just go piece by piece and just see what the heck we're looking at.
Tell me,
Wings.
What troubles you?
Those scenes in the first season, obviously, like I can't remember what episode it was, but all of the flashback scene, was it episode 4 or 5, was just like some of my favorite Disney era Star Wars. Just seeing the Clone Wars stuff in live action was just incredible. So getting like I thought they would probably do another flashback, but I'm so pumped to see that's to see it in action.
Yeah,
freaking cool. Can you go forward like 3 seconds?
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
Who is that?
Yeah. What is it? Who is it? Why is it? I don't know. And you know what's interesting? It's a double bladed.
That looks like
it's technically a triple bladed lightsaber, I guess.
That's like when I make a sandwich and I put a piece of meat and then a piece of cheese and then some meat and then another piece of cheese and then some more meat and another piece of cheese.
This is getting This is getting eerily close to when we first saw the Kylo Ren lightsaber with the cross guards, and then people were like, and there was like one where he had like, it was like a menorah,
Dude,
but it was a lightsaber.
So like, eventually we're going to talk about the Ninth Jedi, and Chance, I'll give you a little foreshadowing. I don't think you're going to feel like you're missing much if you don't watch it, but
I'm committed. I'm already committed. I'm in.
Juro, that's his name, right? Margrave Juro.
Yeah.
He has like a katana style cross guard that kind of emanates from the very base of his lightsaber blade. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And I could see where it would, more than stylistically provide a
cool
function.
little
But I'm trying
ring.
to figure out what the heck this is even good for.
Well, I think they've, think back to when episode 1 released of like the movies, and when we all saw Maul for the first time with the double. And
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that
Is this to counteract the singular
Right,
headbutt move?
I think one of the things that Disney has done is gone, hey, like, it gets a lot of traction when Maul came out with the double, when Kylo came out with the cross guard, when in that the Acolyte, whoever had like the little Shoto blade, like the little extra piece or whatever.
Chimera.
Yeah. And it's just like that extra little, what is that? Or when the Inquisitors, their blades started spinning, and it's just like these new little variants just to freshen it up a bit, help you reimagine again.
And yet still no light whip. Interesting.
Yeah, I was just talking to Joe about that today, that I was expecting that in that Ninth Jedi.
We did get a short little light whip expose in the Acolyte from Kymir's Jedi Master that we never figured out the backstory there, but she was originally in the High Republic.
If we go forward a little bit, I think it looks like that central shaft, for lack of a better word, kind of dissipates. It looks like a more traditional two-bladed lightsaber. Am I tripping here?
Yeah, it gets longer. The other thing is, it's a blue blade or a white blade, like a lightish blue.
Maybe our color's different. It looks green on my screen.
I'm always
The thing too is like maybe they're just training. Maybe that's not an enemy.
walking by your side.
What if it's proxy?
Citizens of the glorious Empire, I have returned. I took an oath to protect the Empire. I therefore declare war.
Money shot. Money shot.
Hot.
And you've got behind him to the left on our right, you've got it's kind of like a subtle nod to the Islamiri.
Mm-hmm.
Those are behind
some art
his
pieces.
desk.
Those are cool.
Yeah, those are behind his desk in Rebels. But this is Heir to the Empire panel like 3. This is like when he first says, "Come in, Captain," and Rook scares the daylights out of Captain Pelion for the first time. When he walks in, Thrawn is on the seat and he's looking at the panoramic view of the artwork. He is in his element. This is Heir to the Empire freaking 30 years later. That's exactly what this is we are going to see Thrawn doing Thrawn things. We're going to see the grandest of Grand Admirals ever in the galaxy. It's going to be so freaking sick. And the fact that he's like, oh my God, he declares war.
War on the Rebel Alliance.
The Rebel Alliance.
On the Rebel Alliance. You're not the New Republic.
Yeah,
you're a peon.
Rebel Alliance.
Mm-hmm. I like that they
Oh my
deliver
God.
whoever this is with a bomber. That's freaking sick.
Yeah, it reminds me of you remember in the Clone Wars episode where they have those cool the Separatists attack Kamino, and they have those cool giant squid looking ships, and they basically use the same anatomy of a squid, and the beak of the ship attaches and it drills a hole and the assassin droids come out.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of that.
Therefore declare war on the Rebel Alliance.
TIE bombers out the wazoo.
Oh, there's a lot of TIE bombers.
These are Night Sisters.
Out of vision.
Yeah, it's cool to see that type of light bow weapon that you see from the Clone Wars. That's very efficient.
Also, Omega.
Yeah.
Out of vision.
Look at this, dude. So these are the threads of fate that they were talking about last season, where, you know, it's kind of a take on Greek mythology where you had the
Fates, the three sisters.
the priestesses of fate, and they have what are they called, the cords of fate or whatever, where like they can see,
Yeah,
it's
the
almost like palm
strings.
reading, and they can freaking see like, oh, this string is shorter, so this person's gonna die, or different stuff like that. It's pulling back into some of that mythology, which is so rich. And then it looks like you've got a Night Sister assassin there on the our right side of the screen, and then it looks like that's Captain Enoch.
Yeah.
And I hope we get more Enoch, because we get him here in just a second.
What
I
did you
think that,
see? More.
Kill that Rebel Scum in particular.
Those
The one on the right.
troopers with the red. That's going to make such a sick figurine when that drops. You know.
Yeah, they released a 4-pack of like the smaller 3 3/4 inch scale of its Enoch and 3 night troopers.
That's super.
Now the hard part is, if you want to build an army of like 15,
right.
you have multiples of Enoch, which you don't want. They should have made Enoch a standalone figure, but
Interesting modifications here on the B-wing.
Like Hera's, right?
It almost looks like the way that the Death Star shoots.
Yeah, it's like Hera's.
Yeah.
It's a B-wing way back when.
Yeah, so if you remember when they first were introducing it in Rebels, there's that Mon Calamari engineer, that he's the one that created the B-wing. B stands for blade, and it actually does that motion in Rebels. I know that Rebels is like freaking 20 years ago now, which is crazy, but all of the points come together. I think it can shoot individually, and I think it can charge up. Imagine kind of like in the old Star Wars Battlefront games back in like 2003, 2005, you had the Dark Trooper character, and he had like an electric gun, and you could shoot electric blast, or same thing with like a Wookiee bowcaster back in the day. Like you could shoot individual bolts, but if you really wanted to cause some damage, you would hold down your trigger, and then you would shoot the electricity, then you would shoot the bowcaster.
Like the plasma pistol on Halo.
From Halo, yeah. I was also going to go there.
Yeah, so this freaking and you know what, if you look right where it's paused right here, you've got the 3 B-wings coming down, and they're freaking torching up this Star Destroyer. This may be the Chimera here, because if you look between the 2 B-wings in the middle and then left of your screen,
You can see that ring.
There's that ring, the Eye of Sauron. I mean, the Eye of Sauron, the Eye of Sion.
They're only one of them's doing the multi-blade together, and I wonder if that is Hera.
I think that if I press play, they all do it. It's just the one in the middle is doing it right now.
Yeah, it looks like the other 2 are charging, is what it looks like.
Here, check this out.
What did you see? More.
Kill that one on the right.
More and more danger than I thought.
And what's crazy
If
is
Sabine dies, I'm gonna take my shirt off.
we're getting all of this cool stuff in the known galaxy, and then we're like, oh yeah, don't forget you're on freaking Peridia. Don't forget freaking Ahsoka and Sabine are on Peridia, walking along the hand of the Father. And you've got Rory McCann coming back as Balin, who's maybe the best written Disney Star Wars character so far.
It might be the part of the story I'm most intrigued by.
Agreed.
And I want to play something, and Anakin says something to Ahsoka, and I want to get y'all's thoughts on it.
Balin claimed to have knowledge of a power.
Master!
One that could end wars.
Interesting thing here, real quick. Anakin, who is one with the Force, who is, Obi-Wan said it best, like, if you strike me down, more powerful you can possibly imagine. One with the cosmic force, he's basically omniscient at this point, all powerful, chosen one from beyond the grave. But the way that he's talking to Ahsoka here is like, the show may get here in 4 months, and I'm completely wrong, but it's weird how it almost seems like he doesn't know what Balin's talking about either.
Yeah,
It almost seems, I don't
power.
It almost seems like somebody's coaching someone. You know what I mean? Like trying to help them to draw a conclusion, but he doesn't want to meddle too much.
Yeah, I can give you the answer, but if I teach you to think that way yourself,
Right.
then
Also, this
I can
definitely
get your
looks like
mind going.
they're definitely inside the head of something, like the
Oh, that's
right.
crazy. You think that's like the those two
Inside
glasses are
one of
like
those
the
statues.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
oh,
I
that's
think it looks
freaking
like
That'd be
they're
cool.
inside the head
crazy.
of
Like
something.
inside the head of the dad statue.
Yeah,
The
And it
dad statue.
also, but
Father.
that would be crazy. And then also you've got the mirrors are casting the lights different ways, it looks like. But you've
That's
also
like
got these
a
crazy rings and stuff
Jedi
that
Order call
looks
out.
yeah. You've got the rings too that are almost like showing you like the galaxy or like a star chart type of thing. Like this
Yeah.
is definitely old. This is definitely some type of ancient something. It looks like Ahsoka and Sabine are in there.
I
But
wonder
yeah,
if
Anakin's
that's
saying
what transports them into another plane where we meet the father, or maybe this is what transports them back to their galaxy because they got to get back somehow at some point, right?
yeah, they got to get back somehow, but also
Meh.
like there's a power that's calling to Balin that like he was doing all of this stuff just to get to Peridia
That's
to
true.
figure out what this power is. So there's something, and obviously like a power to end wars. You know, Balin, if you think back to season one, Shin asked him like, "Do you miss the Jedi?" And he's like, I miss the thought of the Jedi. I miss
Mhm.
the concept of it." And there's a power here that calls to me. Uh, I don't know, dude. Like he had this feeling that he had to get here. He had to get somewhere. Um, so it's something immense. Like I don't know. Obviously, in my book, it's Abeloth, but that would
We'll
just be
see.
nuts if it was
We'll see.
Abeloth.
Because
The
we got
freaking
Zeb.
the Zeb Ezra reunion.
Yes,
Come
I'm
on,
excited to see
The
that.
Zeb Meister.
I loved seeing Zeb in Mando. Yeah,
Mando.
he did
And
great.
I hope that Ezra makes a joke about his blue uniform. Like, what is this? Where's the old get up? And if we see
Yeah,
if we see Zeb get back in his old uniform, I called it here first at 12:13 a.m.
Long time
Ezra's
ago,
in the
I walked away
A-wing.
from the Jedi.
This is your trial, Ahsoka. Take your time to decide.
what is that? Oh, that was
Dude,
the Night Sister magic.
that's
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
Captain
That's
Enoch, and I think that he's got like this is what I called you earlier, Chance. It's
looks
like a
like the
force
sword
pipe.
that Morgan Elsbeth was
yeah,
wielding.
yeah. Absolutely does.
Yeah, and Ezra looks sick in this shot.
Yeah.
And I think is Enoch like the first of the night troopers, and that's why he has that biblical callback. Someone who never died just lived forever. But it's
Yeah.
a lightsaber versus it's definitely like some type of a force pike that's a natural
I
blade
think it
that's
is
imbued
the
with Night
sword
Sister
that
magic.
Morgan was wielding because it glowed like
Well,
that.
it's not the same sword. Well, it could be, but in the art that was shown at the expose today, some of the art was of Enoch with a like a pike. Here, I'll show you. I saved it
I
and was going to talk
wonder
about it a little bit.
while you're pulling it up. I wonder if it being Enoch and it being exactly what you're saying, like would never die. That's sick.
It's cool.
I wonder if you know how in when the Federation ships would get destroyed, it would eliminate all the droids.
Oh,
I
okay.
wonder if Enoch, if he's the green mist essentially that's powering Merrick and all these other things,
Mm.
right? If that magic is within him, and if he gets taken out, I wonder if all those troopers are, you know, essentially
Yeah,
empty.
it's if he's
It's
like
just-
the if
it's-
he's like the king on the chessboard of Thrawn's army.
yeah,
Yeah, or if it's not them, if it's not Enoch himself, if it's the other some of the other costumes they had there at the expose, they had Anakin in his snow outfit, which looks very much like the old Clone Wars outfit, which is awesome. You had Ahsoka's youngling Clone Wars callback outfit, which we saw. It had Ahsoka's new outfit, which we saw. It had Sabine's. It had Thrawn, and it had one of the Night Mothers, and it said something like all mother, grandmother. I can't remember the exact terminology, but she's like the head Night Sister. And I wonder if maybe she's the one, like maybe she holds the
Right.
connectivity, and if she gets destroyed, same like what you're talking about, the episode 1 blow up that main
Yeah.
thing, and it
Which I
destroyed
think
all
I
of the
said
droids on
Federation,
Naboo.
but I meant Separatist Alliance.
Trade Federation in
It
episode
is
1,
Trade
it's just
Federation.
them.
Okay. Scared I jumped.
Take your time to decide.
So from that picture that you pulled up, it looks like a Nagamaki, I believe, is called,
Oh,
which is like watched a lot of Forge and Fire.
I was gonna say I didn't know we were on Forged in Fire.
Yeah, it's like a katana, but it's got like a handle that's almost as long as the blade. So
This
the whole
blade
thing
will
generally is
kill.
like, yeah, it's like 6 feet long usually.
Yeah, the
So that's what it looked like in
Jedi
the picture that you're showing.
Temple Guard Grievous Huyang. I'm living
Freaking
for.
cool, dude.
All yellow
Freaking cool.
too. I think that's actually one of the things I really
Yeah.
like is that they didn't do like a green blue alternate because then it would feel like they weren't his.
Yeah.
But all
Yeah.
Well, and I think
yellow feels like they're his.
Yeah, well, because the whole idea with the yellow blade is usually it's like a guardian that's holding it, right? And he's kind of like the guardian of the lightsabers, or
He was like the
whatever
only,
that role.
He's like the only temple guard left. Is essentially.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
The first and the last. And it's interesting because it's cool that they found a way to integrate a Grievous-like look without it looking just like Grievous. Like coming up from behind the shoulder is a little bit different. So it's familiar enough that you go, oh, I know what that's like. But it's different enough to give it its own feel.
You know, it'd be cool if all these tales of the underworld, tales of the Jedi, tales of the, it'd be cool if they did like a Tales of the Droid and they had like 3 episodes that centered on Huyang. He would be a
Tales of Huyang.
Yeah. That'd be cool. He would be a really cool character to expound on, even though they'd probably.
Oh, dude, you could do 3 episodes and you could do, hey,
another
here's
3 episodes on like Plo Koon.
Yeah. Tales of the Jedi, season 2. Yeah.
Take your time to decide. Are you a Jedi? Or not?
I mean, obviously it's meant to feel that way, but her whole all of the merch that you get surrounding her is all like, I'm no Jedi. I'm no Jedi. That's like the thing that stood out about all the ending of Clone Wars that people like attached, her fan base attached to is that because we all feel a certain sense of like, we like the Jedi, but we do see their flaw. And so because the gray Jedi hasn't really been officially like rolled out in canon, it's like,
yeah, they've basically said that's a stupid idea.
Yeah. So her saying, I'm no Jedi and wrestling with these ideas is something that I think so many people can connect to and have connected to. And so I just love that Anakin's the one that's bringing it to this point of bring it to this head of like, so are you or not? Because you say I'm no Jedi, yet you're continuing to act how the Jedi are really supposed to have been. Like,
I was going to say, you're really representing the Jedi in their purest form.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Samuel.
I was just thinking that it's cool to see Anakin at the culmination of this like ultimate force struggle between light and dark, because that's who he was like proposed to be by the father, that he was supposed to be the one who controls the balance between light and dark. So it's cool to see him kind of like, in effect, not as a living being, but as one with the force, being the one who's trying to instill balance in the light and the dark. It's like he's doing it from beyond the grave.
And here's an interesting thought. So if the white blade is her way of saying, I'm not a Jedi, I'm not a Sith, I'm just a force user doing their best. And to your point, Chance, it's like, that's a Jedi. Being one with the force, having balance with the force. Qui-Gon was that through and through. Council be damned, I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to do what the force is calling me to do. And he, was a little bit turned away because of it. He was a pain in the butt of the council because of it, but it was always the right move.
He felt
and
like
that's who Ahsoka is.
He felt a sense to a higher purpose than the dogmatic views of the Jedi, right? Like he pledged himself to a higher allegiance, I think. And a lot of people have a hard time getting, or it seemed like a lot of the Jedi had a hard time getting past where the council was at. But
Yeah.
Qui-Gon even being offered that seat on the council and declining it, like he saw something further. It seems like Balin kind of has the similar, like, I see something further. Ahsoka seems to be similar. I see something further, something bigger, something different. I even think Kanan got there because the whole like no attachments piece, but Kanan towards the end saw that it was the attachments that helped him to be better and to
Yeah.
be a better leader, and that some of their views on that were wrong, and there was a higher purpose and a higher calling, and he instilled that in Ezra, and so you just see that in multiple characters that are all converging
And Luke
here and
in
there.
Legends achieves that. He meets Mara Jade, and they have a son together, and it never, like, the love of a son for his father is what brought Anakin back around. So then relationship and loving one another isn't is not a is not a negative, you know.
Right.
And in this shot here, I thought this was Shin the whole time, but then as I pause it, it's a green saber. This is Sabine, and I think that maybe they're in or near or around that same area we saw them in earlier. And you have this really crazy looking like Watchman droid that's like a guardian. Imagine how long that guy's been around just waiting for someone.
Yeah.
But the last 6 seconds of the trailer, here we go. Season 2 on Disney Plus. So it doesn't tell us a whole.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, it's just some crazy stuff in here. Obviously, we've got some good stuff on. This looks like Dathomir, maybe. And then, hang on, let me see if I can. Can I blow this up? Can y'all see this? Are you looking full screen
These
with me?
have to be on that other planet.
Yeah, these are crazy. Like,
Oh, because that's Ahsoka. There's
that's
Ahsoka down
Ahsoka.
there. Yeah, so these are on.
Crazy.
Is it
Like,
Peridia that they're on?
yeah,
These have got to be in that side of that galaxy.
yeah. They're like vultures. They can't
Yeah.
be vulture droids because those already exist, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look cool. So I'm
Some
excited.
crazy stuff.
Yeah,
Some
me
crazy
too.
stuff coming. So, okay. So a wild prediction from each of us, and we'll jump off. Chance, give me your craziest prediction just based off the trailer. Not pulling that out of your butt, but based on the trailer, what do you think?
I think that I think that Ahsoka is going to come full circle back into embracing the Jedi at some level. It's hard to know with with her having 0 appearances in the sequels. It puts a real gap. It makes it hard to believe that she's going to have that full circle moment, but I think she is, and yeah, and so I think she is going to have that full circle moment, and I do think that they are inside of the head of one of those statues, and I'm very curious.
That would be crazy.
It looks like light's coming in, but I just wonder if there's something that's going to come out of essentially that, some sort of power that's reflected back out of that. So,
Samuel, what do you got?
More of a hope than a prediction. Hope Sabine dies.
Oh my
Hope
god.
Thrawn wins.
All right, that's fair. Obviously, I see a lot of cool stuff from Thrawn.
Actually,
Okay.
I think it would be cool to see like Islamari or some Islamari type animal come to the fore. We have Thrawn coming from the outer reaches of space where creatures and things are unknown. There seems to be some mystery surrounding the Force in that area of the galaxy. So maybe he's got a couple extra tricks up his sleeve. They were loading a lot of cargo, and I would ask myself, what could you possibly need to pack up from a desolate planet that you've been trying to escape for some odd years, unless it's something to help in the greater war?
Yeah, definitely. Something to negate the powers that exist in the world that you're going back to. Obviously, I think that those crates are just chock full of dead bodies they're going to reanimate, but we'll see. Because you got to remember, at least one Star Destroyer, if not multiple, were taken out there by the Purrgil. All right, here's my prediction. Ready? They just released The Ninth Jedi, and Chance, can I just say something that happens because it's
Yeah,
important?
yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay. So the silver blade, right? It is seen as perfect balance. And the big to-do with the silver blade in the Ninth Jedi limited series we just got recently is that when you have the silver blade, it means complete detachment. The heart controls the color of the crystal in the Ninth Jedi. So when you have an evil heart, evil intentions, the blade is red. You have good intentions, it's blue, green, whatever. When you have a silver blade, it's like you're completely in the emotional void. You're just doing what has to be done, and you're completely detached. And Nawam, the bad guy, keeps talking about, I've achieved nothingness. I've achieved nothingness. I've achieved nothingness. And Kara, the main character, achieves nothingness towards the end, but then she realizes it's the love of her father, it's the love she has for her father, it's the love she has for those around that she's trying to save, yada, 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 that makes her who she is. And she's at her most powerful and she's at her most attuned and one with the Force when she's leaning into those things. And the blades turn back green. So when she first faces Nawam, you're like, okay, she's toast. She has the green blade. He has the silver blade. He's clearly superior. They both achieve silver, but Nawam understands it more. But then Kara achieves a higher level of attunement to the Force, and the purity in her heart turns the blade green again. What if, this is crazy, all right, but whatever, we're doing it. It would be crazy if Ahsoka, I'm not saying that her heart changes and it turns the crystal green or whatever. I don't think that's going to be the case. But what if at some point in this season, whether she gets her old lightsabers back from before the Clone Wars or whatever, whatever the case may be, what if by the end of this season, we see her wielding blue or green saber again to signify in a stronger way her return to the Jedi? The white was her way of saying, I don't have any attachment, I don't have any affiliation. And that was moments with Anakin of like, hey, the light that you are serving is the way of the Jedi. And she becomes who she was again. And you see the blue or the green blades. I'm guessing blue because maybe Sabine already has green. But that's my prediction.
Would only disagree on the basis that it seems to me from the show, only sabers crafted by Lajima are able to reflect the user's heart. Because there was this scene where Nawama had his own lightsaber. There was nothing special about it until he picked up one forged by Lajima, and then he was able to have the blade silver. Same thing when Lajima confronted his master, and the master grabbed a hold of Lajima's lightsaber and it started to flicker red, indicating that he had turned to the dark side.
His heart had changed, yeah.
Well,
yeah, I'm not saying that the concept from Ninth Jedi will take place, but I wonder if not that the crystal itself will change, like bleeding the crystal from blue to red or something like that. I'm saying, what if she lays down the white sabers and takes up blue or green sabers, forges new
some
ones,
new crystals from our boy Hu Yang,
something like that.
Be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe she's on Peridia, where like some of the earliest Force users were. What if she discovers a blade there?
True.
That would be sick. But yeah, those are my thoughts. So
Awesome.
thank you guys so much for joining on. And I know that it's late at night and we just came in here and did something crazy. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Ahsoka Season 2, very, very excited. Big stuff. Grand Admiral Thrawn is going to be coming here and kicking butt. Mark my words. I would love to get some kind of like a verbal dialogue from bridge to bridge between Akbar and Thrawn. Some trash talk. That'd be awesome. So
That'd be sick.
thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys sometime in the near future. Don't forget, the Force is with you always.
And also remember, the only family you have here is me.
See you next time.